Hello, and welcome to SG Squared. Pastor Steve Gladen pulls from over 25 years of small group ministry experience to encourage and equip listeners like you to lead small group ministry. So let's listen and learn together.
Welcome to SG Squared. Steve Gladen on small groups. Derek here with the man of the hour who's got a little bit of a cold, so we're going to make this the shortest episode ever. Steve Gladen. How are you hanging in, my friend?
Oh, dude, I tell you, between the two of us, man, we could be further away geographically, but battling the same thing in both our households. And it's just like, but it is the flu and rainy season as I'm looking outside my window and it's 80 degrees out. I don't know how that all works together, but man, it's killer.
80 degrees.
We got a great show. We got an important show for people.
Okay, that just kind of was like a slap across the face. 80 degrees, you're kind of feeling miserable. I just got over the sickness, which was bad, but guess what the temperature here is in the Seattle area?
Oh, well, it's probably rain.
It's like 39.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's freezing.
Oh, well, I'm going to go sit outside in the sun after this.
So thanks for jumping on despite the health challenges. I should say, though, on video, you look pretty good.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. It's amazing. I mean, the COVID thing, too, because what's on below my shirt is just stuff.
I also imagine you're feeling decent because you guys didn't have a loss last week because the great Ohio State Buckeyes were on a bye. So,
it was a little lonely, though. It was a little lonely. It's like, what do I watch? What do I do? And stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but I did watch the two teams we did beat. I watched the Illini-Washington game.
Yep.
Perfect.
Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, at least we got a win at home versus Illinois. And so this week we're on a bye, but we are talking about 5 ways to lead effectively. I love that title. In just a minute, we're going to jump in here. But I have to ask you one more thing, Steve. Has the construction zone got any better there since you moved into the new place?
Finally. It is. We are waiting on one piece of glass to finish the fireplace off, and maybe like 2 or 3 nickel and dime things that the contractors need to finish. And we will bring to conclusion what started March 1st of 2025. And as we're going to finish up, what are we in? We're almost into November 1st. So yeah, it's been a run. It's been a crazy run. But let me tee up the segment though, if I could.
Yeah.
Good. So we are talking about 5 ways to lead effectively. And one of the things that we have noticed, and one of the things why we wanted to address this on the show, was that so often we lead people. We lead people in groups. We lead the infrastructure that oversees the groups. We may be leading on a staff, maybe leading in our home. Leading with friends. And these 5 things are so transferable that it's super important that we wanted to oh my gosh, what's the word?
Promote.
Yeah. Well, not promote. We wanted to. This is why you can't be on medicine while you're doing these shows.
Sorry, everybody. Steve's a little high. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. But we wanted to
dissect.
Yeah, sure. No. But we wanted to go over these 5 things with you because it's really important from any aspect of how you're going to be leading in the various forms that you do. They're very transferable. They're very helpful, I think, to remind us. Most of them, I think you're going to know, and you're going to say, "Oh yeah, it makes sense." But often, what happens is that we slip into a rut. We don't get them taken care of, and we just want to bring these 5 things back to the front part of your brain, so that you're remembering them, and you'll be the best leader that you can be.
So here we go. Number 1: Lead with purpose. Break that down for us, Steve.
Yeah. One of the things, people have to know why they're doing what they're doing. The why always determines how long. And when people know their purpose, when they know why they exist on this planet, when they know why they exist in their working relationship with you, when they know why they exist in your home life, when people understand why they exist in a different area, their longevity will increase. And part of what I would just encourage you with your team and your small groups is helping them know their purpose. So often we don't know what success is. We don't know what God's looking for. And the more you can do that, the more you can help their engagement go deeper and stronger when they understand what their purpose is.
So good, because in ministry, it's so easy to just get into the weekly routine of another weekend, another service, and all that takes so much time and energy. So it's critical to find that time to carve out, to just step back and make sure you know your vision so you can point people to lead with purpose. And I love how you said that. Know why their work matters, because that's when
Mm.
engagement skyrockets. It's so true. Well said. Okay, and that brings us to big number two, which is build trust.
Yeah, psychological safety is a real buzzword in the workplace. And part of it is having a safe environment that can be there. And what's important to understand is that you as a person that is leading is always wanting to help speak truth into people's lives. The only way you can speak truth is if they trust you, and the only way they can trust you is if you spend time. And so, what I would encourage you on this one is the more time you can spend being real, kind of like Derek and I were just doing when we couldn't figure out what word I was trying to think of, and we still moved on. It was just, it's just the situation that we're in. But building trust has more components to it than just, saying trust me, or thinking that because they spend time with you that they will trust you. It is a part of having memories, situations when you go through the battle together, when you do ministry together. What you find is that you build trust when you make all these memories together. And so, what I would encourage you to do is be thinking through is that the more time you can spend with your team, the more time you can spend with your small group, the more time you can just spend with your family, for all that matters, the more trust you're going to build with them, because you're building credits up, because every time you spend time with them, you're going to have situations where there's opportunity for you to help build trust with them. And it's really important that you see that in a leader.
I think this key point is so important. Build trust. When I look back on my ministry experiences, um, the when you could feel like you trusted your senior leader or pastor, you know, that you just I think I was there longer, right? When you felt like you could trust someone, that they had your back, you'd even stay there for less money longer because you felt like you belonged, you felt like you had
Yeah.
something going on. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons for turnover, maybe in ministry, is
Yeah.
just a lack of
It's a good point.
trust, which comes from a lack of relationship. Because again, we can just be so busy in the dog eat dog, week to week world. Good point there. Build trust.
Yeah.
Okay, number three, develop your people. Break that down.
So the more you develop your people and who God designed them to be, the higher the retention rate is going to be. But what I want to do on this one is being able to say how you're going to develop the people. And one of the things we talk about is whenever you have an opportunity, you're going to graduate. Boy, you can tell this is over. Whenever you have an opportunity, you're going to gravitate to one of two things. You're either going to take the risk, or you're going to be paralyzed by fear. And what happens in people not developing is you give them too big of a step that causes them not to take the risk, but causes them to get paralyzed by fear. And when they don't take the risk step and they are paralyzed by fear, they won't grow. And when they don't grow, then they don't have a great retention rate. And so part of your job is trying to think, what opportunities can I give them where the risk is palatable enough that they'll be successful so that it will build their faith so that when the next opportunity comes around, you're able to make the risk a little bit harder and they'll be able to take it. And we talked a lot about this in the life of David. God's first assignment to David, his first opportunity, this is the man after God's own heart. His first opportunity was tend sheep in 1 Samuel 17. He tended sheep, it built his faith. And then the next opportunity was a bear comes into the camp. He takes the risk, he kills the bear, it built his faith. And then the next opportunity is a lion comes in and he takes the risk, he kills the lion, builds his faith. The next opportunity comes along. This is when Goliath is there. He takes Goliath, he kills Goliath. He's a teenager, so it cuts his head off and, does teenager things. And it builds his faith. And it leads up to the moment when God moved David from pasturing sheep to pastoring the nation of Israel in Psalm 78, 70 through 72. And because he was developed, he was able to develop into the leader that led the nation because of the skill of his hands and the integrity of his heart. And in the same way, this whole point is about asking the question, how are you developing your people? Are you putting them in circumstances where they can be stretched a little? We always call these crawl, walk, run. When they're taking a risk, is it at a crawl level? Is it at a walk level? Is that a run level? Because how you develop them in the type of risk you put them in front of, you want to make sure that they can be successful at it so it can build their faith, so you can challenge them just a little bit more. And if you don't do that the right way, what happens is fear paralyzes them and they get set back. And it's just harder to develop people and get them to get back on the horse. So it's a great opportunity that if you want to lead people well, you got to know how to develop people.
Well said. I like that quote, investment signals long-term value. Really good.
Yep.
Okay, on to number 4, which is celebrate the wins. I love this one. Break it down.
Yeah, I mean, this is just talking about recognition. I mean, people love to be recognized for all different types of things. And so part of what this is all about is, so often we go from hill to hill to hill to hill, and we don't take time to celebrate. And one of the things you see in the Old Testament is they had to put monuments up all the time to remind the nation of Israel of the great accomplishments that God did with them. And in the same way, what can happen is that we do the same thing. And what I would encourage you as you're leading your team, as you're leading your small group, take time to celebrate wins with them. Because when you celebrate the wins, everybody wins. And it's also a good opportunity for you to really kind of cement that win that you're celebrating into the lore of your small group, the lore of your team. And what happens is then you start to build a culture of people wanting to help remind you of the wins that you did, or they can participate in it. But the great thing is that there are wins all the time. And what you have to do is, have the celebration because there's enough things that knock you down.
Well said. And I think this is celebrating wins. You can so easily add this into different parts of your ministry. Like I remember when we would do small group leader training, a couple times a year, you're providing a free lunch and you got all your small group leaders and you're obviously going to train them. But we'd always start out, while we're eating, we'd open it up for the first 30 plus minutes to celebrate the wins. And when doing this, you kind of always want to start it off and have one ready to, give as an example. But once the ball gets rolling, man, everybody wants to share something cool God did, a changed life, meeting a need. And that was just always felt so contagious. Wow, like look at what God's doing. All our work is paying off. And but unless you share, you just don't know and hear of all the other crazy cool things that God did. So I think that's huge.
Yeah, and there's a lot of times when people remind me about some of the wins. I'm like going, "Oh my goodness, I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I forgot about that." So
Number 5, clarify roles and next steps.
yeah, so part of this is being able to kind of minimize the confusion that's out there. And one way to lead a team effectively is be clear on what their roles are and what their goals are. When you're clear about the roles and the goals, what can happen is that there is clarity for the person to understand, what am I supposed to be doing? And it will give them confidence in doing what they're trying to do. Now, part of that is coming back around, and you got to work on what we talked about in number 3, developing the person. Sometimes they have the skill sets, or sometimes you need to help develop those skill sets in them. But part of this is being able to say, people will naturally understand maybe what their role is. That's why when you write it down, it always helps bring clarity, but also next steps. One of the things that you can do for your team, or what you can do for your small group, is making sure they understand this is the next step we're trying to do. We just met with all the state reps with the small group network, and part of that is that we gave them next steps at the end of the call. And part of those next steps are following up with churches. And so part of what you want to do is just clarity always builds confidence. And so the more clarity you can give them, the more confidence that they'll have to do the things that you want them to do. But you got to be clear on the roles and clear on the goals, and also be a good enough leader that you can see, hey, maybe do I need to develop some things that they may be floundering at or struggling with?
Be clear on the roles and clear on the goals. I like that. Well, that is the 5 ways to lead effectively. And there is your 5-step master class to get it going. Steve, any closing thoughts before we call it a day?
Well, if I could think them through that, but no, again, just to recap for you, you want to lead with purpose. You want to build the trust. You want to develop your people. You want to celebrate the wins and clarify the goal, the roles, and the next steps. And so as you're doing that, just remember, you've been called to lead a team. You've been called to lead a group. You've been called to lead your family. And so do it the most effective way as possible. And these 5 things will definitely be keys to helping that success happen.
Well said. Well, Steve, thanks for jumping on despite how you're feeling. And thanks to everybody else for jumping on the podcast and giving it a listen. Hey, do us a favor and make sure you're subscribing to this podcast from wherever you are listening or watching. And if you're on Spotify, give us a 5-star rating. That really helps us to break through the algorithms and reach more people. And our prayer is that this podcast encouraged you and equips you to lead better groups. So until next time, thanks so much.
See you later, guys.
Thank you for listening. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. If you'd like to go deeper and get more resources or join the Small Group Network, just head over to smallgroupnetwork.com. We'll see you next time.